Well, I think a successful action movie is that has a lot of action, different types of action. If it is chase scenes like this movie has from the beginning to the end, the cast of travel 200 miles an hour or travels through cornfields with 100 miles an hour or anything like this. But it has also huge blow-ups, huge shootouts, great physical conduct, the martial arts fights and all those things. But at the same time, it has a great story, and that the characters are very well developed, and that you have the comic relief, which is so important, that action movies have a comic relief. We've seen those kind of movies always doing very well. If it's 48 Hours, remember the Beverly Hills Cop, and all of those movies, or True Lies. And this is why he had really a big responsibility in this movie, Johnny, to create that comic relief and to put his own kind of Johnny Knoxville spin on it.
I became part of the project when my agents called and said, would you like to be in a Arnold Schwarzenegger film? And it was the thrill of my life. I couldn't wait to get to set. That's how I came into the, of course I read the script afterwards. I'm like, oh, I love it. But Arnold's what drew me to it, and Lorenzo's great. He's a wonderful producer, and to get a chance to work with him, and it was just all kinds of positives with this film. Arnold and a great international cast who, Peter Stormare, Luis Guzman, Jamie Alexander, and then we have such a wonderful director in Kim Ji-woon, and I credit Arnold and Lorenzo for giving him the opportunity and the latitude to do what he does.
As I said earlier, that it was a great action movie. I wanted to do a traditional Schwarzenegger action movie with some extra spins and twists, and that's what this was. Well, I play a sheriff who has had a great history in law enforcement, having been on the LA SWAT team for 20-some years, but has gotten wounded many times, and it's now time to leave that job and to go back to my hometown and to be the local sheriff. It's a town where there's not much action at all. The most dangerous thing that one of my deputies did last week was to rescue a cat from a tree. So it's that kind of thing, and all of a sudden they get overrun by the most dangerous mercenaries, and this little town gets caught up in a drug war, and with the most dangerous drug criminal and the whole cartel is descending on this town, so they're not ready for that at all. So it's the underdog that has to emerge as the victor, and we don't know until the very end how this is going to happen.
I play Louis Dinkum, a colorful and cosmic nut who happens to own the local weapons museum and who has always idolized Ray, the sheriff, and wanted to be on the force more than anything in his life. But he's such a wild card that, of course, Ray will not have him on the force. But things happen that, when the mercenaries come through town, the sheriff needs me, and it was the biggest day of my life when he swore me in. And then we get to go toe-to-toe with the bad guys.
I think that the scene that I enjoyed the most doing is the cornfield. The chase scene. I mean, I've never done that before, and with all the action movies they have done, they have a chance to sit in a Camaro and to go 80 miles an hour through a cornfield, and to have this chase scene and to bang into the Corvette and to have these collisions there. And I felt like, wow, this is what's so fun about making movies like this, because you feel like a little kid that can do all those things that the ordinary person never gets a chance to do.